Welcome to another episode of an Inconvenient Sports Pod. I'm one of three hosts. I'm Ricky. Alongside me, I have AG and Rod. Say what's up, guys.
What's
What's
up?
up?
All right, so we're gonna get into a little topics today. It's gonna be a little interesting. Gonna have some fun with it. But let's start off. Today we're gonna start off by talking about this new NBA playing tournament that the NBA imposed for this season. So we're usually used to having the top eight seeds from each conference, go to the playoffs. We're all used to that. We're used to seeing the best eight teams go ahead. That's changing this year. So now the top six seeds are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, and the last day for the regular season is May 16th, and this new tournament starts the 18th, May 18th, and it's going to end May 21st. So the way it's going to play out, so you have the 7, 8, 9, and 10 in that order, right? That are going to be the teams that are going to go into the tournament. So the way it works out is the seventh seed plays the eighth seed, and then the ninth seed plays the 10th seed. All right. So the winner of the seventh and eighth seed that winner advances to the playoffs. The loser, though, however, of that game gets to play the winner of the ninth seed versus the 10th seed in a spot to get the last eight spot in the playoffs. I know it's a little like, it's a lot of like, okay, so we're gonna compensate the loser with another game to try to get into the last eight. So they did a little play-in tournament last year. If you guys remember the bubble with I believe it was the Grizzlies and the Trailblazers in a one-game play-in tournament. It was actually rather one of the more like exciting games that the playoff had because Damian Lillard and John Morant were just going back and forth, and eventually the Blazers ended up winning it. They were the eighth seed um, in the playoff, and that's how it ended up going. So I don't know, man. I to get the feel of it, I kind of like it. It's cool, because sometimes those 9 and 10 seeds are like teams that we know are capable of making a run in the playoffs, but they don't get the chance because they were either like had some bad games in the regular season that ended up hurting them in the long run, and eventually that's why they are in that position. So, but it's cool, man. I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, I want your guys' take on it. What do you guys think of it so far?
That's very interesting. They're doing that, and I think that brings a lot of fun to the game. It's really something different. Be very exciting, and we get to see teams that are they're consistent and they're not, but like they know they can be better than what they are during the regular season, and I think that's really fun to see like a tournament kind of style in the NBA, and I think the players will get hyped up from it, and the fans will too. Like I'll be very excited. I mean, I didn't know about this until like you told me about it, Ricky, uh, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Um,
It's
I don't know.
basically going to be like a little like March Madness, man. It's going to be like a little like surrounded advance, and like just move on, But yeah, the way like the seventh and eighth seed game works, where the loser gets to play another game, that's kind of weird. Because again, like if you lose, why do you still have a chance to freaking go, But it's cool. But yeah, man, Rod, what do you think about it, man?
So, I think the whole reason why this was probably laid out as it was going based off the bubble from last year. You look at the Phoenix Suns who went 8-0 in the bubble and they still didn't get that shot to advance, and everyone was saying that the Suns were the best team in that bubble, but because they weren't able to reach that record to qualify, they were sent home, which was unfortunate. And I think that this was basically, like I said before, off of this fact that the Suns had a really good record towards in the bubble, and they were still not allowed to compete. So definitely, I think this is something that is going to help benefit, like you guys said, help benefit those teams that you know they're probably have had a bad record because of injuries or just several other different circumstances, and this is really going to help benefit those type of teams that are trying to reach the playoffs still and that have the talent to do it. And so yeah, I like you said before, this is definitely going to give like a March Madness kind of feel to it, it's definitely gonna give a lot more fan interest, and I'm ready to see it.
Yeah, I do like this would gainer or garner so many new fans. Like seeing a March Madness style in the pros, that would be so badass. I mean, plus the play will be better. I mean, there's been playing March Madness where it's like I saw this one funny TikTok where they're making fun of like games like that where like the two teams are going back and forth and just missing shots in the final 10 seconds of the game. Then something crazy goes on when one team leading up and the ball gets stolen. And I think we'll see better play with this kind of style of a playoff kind of tournament thing in the NBA. And yeah, I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah, man,
Well,
it's gonna be really exciting to see, man. Yeah, like Rod said, with the Suns, that's a great example, man. A team that's on fire and not be able to make it to the playoffs. It's always a bummer when you get those teams. So yeah, man. So moving on to our next subject, guys, we're gonna be talking about a little, we guess you can call it a little rumor that's been going on. So we there was a tweet apparently about from the Gillette Nation that kind of hints maybe for a possible, you can call it trade involving Jordan Love, the rookie last year for the Packers, possibly going to the Patriots. Man, there was a little trade that said that maybe the Patriots are willing to trade down to get Jordan Love. And so I find it kind of interesting because last year when Jordan Love was drafted, we basically thought that's a huge slap to the face to Mr. Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Green Bay. We all thought, is this real? Is this really going to happen? Is Could this be the end of Aaron Rodgers? You know, we were like just shocked, because we if you guys saw Jordan Love's highlights at I think he played in Nevada, right, or
no, he
Utah
played at
State?
Utah
Which one?
State.
Utah State, yeah. I saw him in the Cafe Frisco Bowl. It was a random bowl game. It was his last game, but man, he balled out, man. That kid, his talent really showed in that game, and it was a kind of a little glimpse of what we could see in the NFL. And when he was drafted, we were like, oh man, okay. We didn't see that coming from the Packers, but to go down, to a trade like that to New England, what do you guys make of that? What did you guys make of that trade?
So the
I
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, Rock.
After you,
Yeah,
AJ.
go ahead, man. I don't know. I find that it was really random how that came about. Um, I mean, who knows if this is like just fabricated or what? But I like the trade idea of getting Jordan Love. I think he'll pan out really well with Bill Belichick. Um, I don't. Uh, he's a. I think like Bill Belichick probably sees a little Jimmy G in Jordan Love, but I think Jordan Love will be better than Jimmy G, and he'll really benefit from the coaching of Bill Belichick. I don't see it as a bad trade. And it also would be good for Aaron Rodgers too. I mean, this will solidify him being, with the Packers for a very long time now. And, this just that pick with with Jordan Love to the Packers, it was just really random. I think no one saw that coming. Aaron Rodgers probably really took that to heart. Um, probably a shot at him too. Like, you know, Aaron Rodgers has done so much for the organization just for that to happen, and it just seems like a waste of a pick. Not a waste of a pick. I'm not saying Jordan Love was like a waste of talent, but it just they could have helped themselves with some defensive play. They like defensive players they need. I mean, they got torched by us in in that championship game, like a couple years back now, and they even got you know they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who ultimately won the Super Bowl. But it's just kind of weird now how they just trade him away and kind of wasted a pick. But hey, I think it'll be good on Aaron Rodgers' side and Jordan Love. So yeah,
And
those are
what
my
do you guys
thoughts.
think of that, of trading down though? So I believe the Patriots would trade down from 15 to 29th, I believe,
Yeah.
and they and a fourth round pick. So what do you guys make of that though? For Jordan Love, what do you make of that?
So the language
Go
of
ahead,
it
man.
is a little weird, right? So basically, the Pats would get Jordan Love, they would get the 29th pick, and the 142nd pick is what it looks like. And then the Packers get the 15th pick, which they can use on basically anybody at this point. And like AG said, they need some help on defense. Kevin King just got embarrassed by Tampa Bay on national television. Then Aaron Rodgers, not having that support staff. Obviously, he has Devontae Adams to throw to. He has. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to remember the name of their running back right now. I'm not sure why I'm forgetting it right now. Aaron Jones to hand the ball off to.
Jones.
But obviously, outside of those two playmakers, they have Lazard, right? If I'm correct, Lazard to throw
Yeah,
to,
Alan Lazard.
Alan Lazard, and Robert Tanya in the tight end. I think that this was a move that if
Dope.
it's unofficial right now, but if this trade happens, I think it can help benefit the Packers try to move up into that top 15 pick so they can be able to help get some, either defensive help because Kevin King is definitely not a starting NFL corner, or get Aaron Rodgers some more weapons. And this trade makes sense. If it's real, it makes sense because they just re signed Cam Newton to a 1 year deal. Bring Jordan Love into New England, where Jordan Love, I don't think he's a completely finished product yet. He looked great in college, but remember, people were saying that he's a project quarterback. Let Cam Newton start for that year that he signed with. Let Jordan Love sit 1 more year, right? So that way he'll have 2 years of sitting on the bench learning. And then after that, Jordan Love's the starter in New England. It makes sense, I think.
It does. Yeah, I think it does. I mean, Bill Belichick would. I think he would do wonders with Jordan Love. And supposedly, I think they liked him during that draft too. No, there was some rumors of him going to New England.
Yeah,
Am I wrong?
that's what they were saying. Yeah,
Yeah. Then they just. I mean, it. They probably wouldn't. I think that Jimmy G rumor stuff was probably true because they're. I mean, dang, it's just so weird. So where are they trading? They're trading away their first round pick and what?
So basically
so they were
the Pats would receive Jordan Love. They would get the 29th
Mhm.
pick and the 142nd pick, and all the Packers get in return is the number 15th overall selection. So basically, the Pats just
Hmm.
trade 14 spots back, get Jordan Love and a fifth round pick, I believe. It's a fourth or fifth round pick.
a fourth rounder,
Okay.
the 142nd.
I mean, it's actually not that bad of a trade, I guess, but would it be more expensive to Jimmy G would have? Because the Jimmy G actually price is a first round pick, and they were probably, I believe those rumors were true then. If, you know, Bill Belichick wanted a guy that he wanted, either Jimmy G or Jordan Love, but he ultimately got Jordan Love. But I think it will be a great fit for the Patriots, and he can learn. I mean, he learned behind Aaron Rodgers, and can also learn behind Cam Newton now. Um, and he could probably take over the rings for the next season after that. But I don't know. Sounds like a good trade.
Yeah, man. So yeah, moving on to our next topic, man. We're gonna jump into a little more NBA. So we've seen it all, man. We've seen it throughout the history of the NBA. Always talked about how who's gonna replace Larry Bird when he's done. Who's gonna replace Michael
Magic
Jordan
Johnson.
when he's done? Yeah, all those guys. We've talked about who's always gonna be that next star up. When it was Michael Jordan, we are like, is it gonna be Kobe or is it gonna be Shaq
Sure. Yeah.
or the other guys in the league? After Kobe, it was like, all right, who's next? LeBron, and obviously right now the biggest, the name of the NBA is LeBron. It's been LeBron for the last, you know, 13 maybe years or so. So it's uh it's always exciting to talk about. All right, who are the next guys up? So we were talking about the NBA is full of young talent, man. You talk about a lot of guys I'm talking about a lot of guys, man, that are under the age of 25 Just let alone that young. Let that sink in. A lot of these guys are college one and done guys. We got international players like Luca that come from overseas and are young talent in the NBA, man. So what I want to like basically know is what names jump out to you guys as who's going to be the face of the NBA, let's say in the next 3 years or so. Who do you guys think is the name that just pops up to be okay? This guy is the new face of the NBA. What names pop out to you guys?
Go ahead, AG.
Go ahead, Rod. Uh, I don't know. It just, I mean, there's so many great young guys, but it just, I mean, there is some good names, and the names I think of is like, look at Doncic. He's playing a hell of a season this year, and he played a hell of a season last season. And I remember seeing, Kobe at one of their games. I think Dallas went to the Lakers to play them, and Kobe, you know, I think he tugged his jersey and started talking his language, and he gave him some respect to Luca. And Luca's a hell of a great player. I mean, he's just like he's done some crazy last last second scoring game winning shots these past couple weeks, and he's just fun to look at. And another one is like Zion. The expectations are there, and I think he'll pan out to be a hell of a great player. You know, eventually in the future. It just I just need to see more out of him though. He's not thing like a LeBron yet at that level, and Luka isn't either. But I think those two are like my guys that are at the top right now. And I don't know, the third one is just up in the air. There's so many great players that are just tied at three. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's a good one. The Devin Booker too is a good one for me. But I like Devin Booker too. I think a lot more at like a number three spot. I mean, he's been balling out, the last couple of years too, and he's doing great. Um, so I think Luca, Zion, and Devin are at my top spots right now. And but pushing at a new face, the guy that will be there, I'm just not sure yet. But I probably break on Zion as a new face. What about you, Rod?
So it's funny that both of you guys brought up Luca because that was actually my pick for the face of the NBA for the next couple of years. You look at what he's been able to do throughout the first 3 years of his career. He's on pace to break, or not break, but he's on pace to repeat the same numbers that he did last year with scoring just under 30 points per game, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. That, last season was when he got, the NBA All Rookie team and NBA Rookie of the Year. Or, I'm sorry, that was 2019. Yeah, 2019. So let's see. I'm sorry. Hold on. I got my stats all mixed up. Last year, he was All NBA team. And then his rookie year, he was the NBA All Rookie and the Rookie of the Year. So I got a little bit of those mixed up. But still, he's been putting up great numbers. This was a team that when he was drafted, they were 24-58. And record doesn't show right now. They're 30-26, and they're still trying to make the push that they are right now. They're at the 7th seed, so they're kind of sitting at the bottom still. But you can see the progress, and you can see that he is making the Mavericks better. And there was about a game a week ago that I saw where he just hits this unbelievable 3-point winner. It was like a floater from the 3-point line to beat the Grizzlies. It was, I think it was on the 14th of this month. Yeah, it was just like
Mhm.
seconds left in the game from the 3-point line. He just launches a floater and it just falls right in the basket to win the game. And I just thought that was an amazing shot for him. And like I said, I believe that this guy is probably going to be the face of the franchise. Obviously, he's already won so many accolades in a short span. The sky's the limit for this guy. And another guy, I don't know if this guy's going to be the face of the NBA per se, but I think he's going to be a really talented player. And I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this one, but Tyler Hero, the guy for the Heat, right?
Jeez.
And
Uh-huh.
And I know I'm gonna get shit for this. Obviously, we remember him as that guy who made that awkward looking face towards LeBron in the finals, right? You guys remember that face that he made?
Yeah.
That,
Mhm.
that kind of like smug look on his face. And I also remember him from that YouTube video about how he spent his first like $1 million that he got. But there's something about that 13th overall pick in the draft that him and Donovan Mitchell, I think, were also both 13th overall selections. There's something about that 13th pick that the guys picked there just become really special. And I think give him a couple more years. Obviously, he went to the finals as a rookie. He has a song about him already, which is just a fun fact that I think is hilarious. I think both of these guys, obviously Luca's already accomplished a lot more because he's been in the league a couple more years, but I think both of these guys are going to be pretty special players for a long time.
Yeah, man. You can't go wrong with Luca, man. Sorry, Luca. He just even from year one, man. He just looked like he had the confidence of like uh just a seasoned veteran, man. Like he came in and he basically took over that Mavericks team. He took over. He's like, hey, I know I'm a rookie, but this is my team. Like he's taking the way he's just taking over that team and the impact he's had on the league. It goes to show that the NBA expands international. The way the NBA expands international, man, it's crazy. Because so much talent comes in from overseas, man. That it's great. Because that's the NBA is that's what it's all about is finding players that make the game better. For the fans. For them, for the team. That's so yeah, Lucas I think is definitely up there. I don't like we were also talking about Zion. We still don't know about Zion, man. It's only year 2. His has a lot, to improve on. So it'll be very interesting to see, but I think two small names that I don't think that they will be the face of the NBA one day, but that we haven't mentioned yet is Jamal Murray from the Nuggets and John Morant from the Grizzlies.
Oh, oh,
Right, those are two guys that are great
here, hold
point
up.
guard for
Let's
teams.
pause
But
real
Hold up,
quick.
Rick. Yeah, pause, pause, pause.
Hey, wait like 10 seconds so we can cut this.
Doesn't wait 10 seconds.
Okay, continue, Ricky. Start off where you were talking about.
yeah, John Morant and Jamal Murray. They're two guards that are very great in transition. John Morant can go from 0 to 100 really fast across the court, and just the way he drives the ball, and same thing with Murray. Murray, he's well complemented with Nikola Jokic, who I think Jokic is obviously in the MVP talk for this season. Um, but yeah, it's also really sad that we lost Jamal Murray for the year, despite he was having a good year. He was averaging 20 points a game, 4 rebounds, four almost 5 assists, per game. So small talk, I mean, sorry, not small talk, but small roles that are going to be like faces that we know that we can always rely on to deliver a good show is obviously going to be John Morant and Jamal Murray, man. Two good names, but we all agree that Luca is definitely going to, not definitely, but we're very confident that he could be the next man up to fill in LeBron's shoes.
Yeah. Uh, it's just so hard because LeBron is just, uh, he's the GOAT. He's just someone that everybody knows about. But I don't think no one's there yet. I mean, Zion might be that next guy to be like a LeBron, like a Michael Jordan, like a Kobe Bryant, just someone that everybody knows, and like that's the first guy you think about when you think about the NBA. But it'll be so cool to see an overseas player become the face of the NBA because we haven't seen that. You know, I mean, if Luca ends up being like that, being the face of the NBA from overseas, it will be really great for the game, and I think it will cause more kids from around the world to even push harder to be in the NBA, and it will be really great. Um, but I don't know. Be It'd be really interesting to see for these next few years if LeBron ever retires or anything. But
Wait,
yeah,
all right, and to finish off with our last topic, guys. So, hey, we're all excited, man. The NFL's draft is next week. We've been waiting for this all off season. You know, all the drama's been building up. You know, hey, that guy's gonna go to that team, but no, that guy's gonna go to that team. It's been crazy, man. It's been crazy, and it's all finally coming next week, guys. I am excited for it. I don't know about you guys. We're finally gonna, you know, see who gets taken at number 3 for our 49ers. I'm excited, and to make it a little more fun, we actually are going to be doing our own little mock draft. So, and we all got to sign little random teams, but I'm gonna pass this off to Rod. Rod, how is this thing gonna work, man?
Right. So the other day I just did a spin the wheel kind of thing with NFL teams. We each got 10 NFL teams that we are going to be the GMs of. And obviously there's 32 teams. There's a couple teams that don't have that first round pick, so that's why we only have 10 teams each. And for AG, his teams are going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Carolina Panthers, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets, the New York Giants, the Baltimore Ravens, the Green Bay Packers, and the Detroit Lions. For Ricky, he's going to be having the New England Patriots, the Denver Broncos, Minnesota Vikings, Indianapolis Colts, Pittsburgh Steelers, New Orleans Saints, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, the Tennessee Titans, and the Washington football team. And for me, I'm going to be the GM of the Jacksonville Jaguars, the San Francisco 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys, the Seattle Seahawks, Chicago Bears, Arizona Cardinals, Atlanta Falcons, Cincinnati Bengals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Los Angeles Chargers. So, like I said before, we are just going to do this mock draft. Like, we are the GMs of each of the 10 teams we were picked. And like I said, all these were random. I know the guys were pretty upset that they didn't get the Niners and I got the Niners, but oh well. We're going to be the GM of all these 10 teams. We're going to discuss trades with each other, just like how regular NFL teams do it. And we're just going to go pick to pick with our designated teams. And that's how this mock draft's going to work.
yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. We actually have some cool ideas, and we're gonna start using visuals now. A lot of people have been asking for it. Just be really cool editing. I'm very excited for it. I know Rod is. He's gonna be helping out with the editing too. Um, it's just gonna be a good time, and you know that it's already the end. I'm so excited for the draft to come already because I'm tired of all the speculations that are going on. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be a good show. And we're really excited for you guys to see it.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, this offseason's been crazy, man. So just the way it's gonna go down, man. Very very excited, because to to feel like a GM and be like, hey, I want that guy. It's gonna be pretty cool, man. Because it's part of the NFL, man. With GMs, they work hard. They work hard to decide on who they want, to be the future of their franchise, man. I mean, you talk about not knowing what you're gonna get, but remember, like Rod said a couple episodes ago how we got Nick Bosa when we thought we were gonna get Quinn Williams, man. It's just the way it is. It's the way the NFL works, man. Talk about we didn't all think Baker Mayfield was gonna go number one that back in 2018. So it's exciting because it all the like I've been saying, all the rumors, all the sources saying it all just builds up to to the draft, and so we're all excited for it. But yeah, anything else you want to add on about the mock draft, Rod?
Just that be be ready for all the trades we're gonna make. We'll be ready for some surprise picks that you guys might not expect. Like Ricky said, it's the NFL draft. Things are unpredictable. So, we're gonna go and we're gonna add some clips so you guys can see some highlights of players that we think are gonna go to a certain team. And it's gonna be one of our, probably our favorite podcasts to have made at that point. And we're just gonna have a lot of fun, just like we always do. We're obviously gonna pick some guys that maybe one of us wanted, first, and that's just how the draft works. It's gonna be as realistic as possible, and just excited to do it.
And AG, so as far as like the visuals, so the fans can expect, what they're gonna see. What do you, as visual as, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, like Rod said, we're gonna add some clips, some little highlights of who we're picking and stuff. You're gonna see our faces too. We're gonna be showing our faces. Um, you know, it just it's gonna be a lot different because people have been saying they don't like looking at a red screen since this is on YouTube. Some people like looking at stuff, and we're gonna be start doing that now, doing a little change, mixing it up here and there, making the podcast not only fun for ourselves but also fun for you guys to watch and listen to. And we really appreciate everyone listening to us, and we're just adding a little bit of spice to our podcast, and we're just all really excited for you guys to watch it. But yeah,
All right, man. Well, that's gonna conclude it for tonight's episode. Had a good episode. Really good topics to talk about. It's exciting. Um, but yeah, we will see you guys on our next episode. Thank you for tuning in to an inconvenient sports pod. Wish you guys have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe.
like and subscribe later.